in the heart of a bustling African city, where the rhythm of drums echoed through the streets and the scent of spices filled the air, a young woman named Abini stared at her phone screen. A message blinked in bold letters. "You are invited to the estate of Sefu Nango. A night of elegance, music, and secrets awaits." Abeni, an ambitious journalist, had been investigating the mysterious Sefu Nyong, a wealthy and elusive man known for throwing extravagant parties. Parties from which some women never returned. BT no one dared to question it. Tonight, she would attend. Not as a guest, but as a hunter. Abeni arrived at the grand estate, her dark blue dress hugging her figure as she stepped out of the taxi. The entrance was lined with tall torches, flickering ominously. The guards, massive men with unreadable expressions, nodded as she handed them her invitation. Inside, the mansion was filled with elegant men and women. Abini's eyes darted around, searching for Sefu. Then, she saw him. Tall, broad-shouldered, and with piercing golden eyes, Sefu Nango was every bit as intimidating as the rumors said. When he smiled, the room seemed to hold its breath. "You came," he murmured, stepping closer. Abeni forced a smile. "I wouldn't miss it." Abeni tried to act natural as she sipped her drink. The women laughed and danced, oblivious to the looming danger. Midnight was only minutes away. Sefu approached her again, his hand grazing her arm. "Let's go somewhere quiet." Abeni swallowed hard. She needed to know the truth. He led her through a hidden passageway, down a spiral staircase lit only by dim torches. The air smelled of damp stone and something metallic. Blood? At the end of the hall, an iron door creaked open. Abeni gasped. Inside, cages lined the walls, each containing a terrified woman. Their jade bracelets glowed under the torchlight. Sefu's voice was cold. "You shouldn't have come." Abeni turned to run, but the guards were already blocking the exit. The women in the cages whimpered as Sefu's men approached them with shackles. "Why are you doing this?" Abeni demanded, her voice trembling. Sefu smirked. "A tradition, my dear. You see, every year we choose the most exquisite women and offer them to the gods of the forest. In return, we receive wealth, power, and long life." Abeni's stomach churned. "You're sacrificing them?" Amused. "They are given a chance. If they survive the hunt, they are free." Abeni's blood ran cold. She knew what that meant. They were released into the dark, endless forests, hunted like animals. And now, she was one of them. Abeni had no choice. She had to play along. She was thrown into a cell, the door slamming shut. Beside her, a girl sobbed. "They'll release us into the jungle at midnight," she whispered. "No one ever survives." Abeni clenched her fists. "Not this time." As the clock struck 12, the gate swung open. The women, including Abeni, were shoved outside into the dense forest. The moment they stepped out, torches ignited behind them, and the hunters, masked men with bows, machetes, and rifles, emerged. "Run!" one of the girls screamed. And they did. Branches whipped Abeni's face as she sprinted through the underbrush. Behind her, the screams of the captured echoed. She had one advantage. She knew about this hunt beforehand. Earlier in the mansion, she had stolen a small dagger from a guard. Now she gripped it tightly, hiding behind a tree as a hunter approached. With a sudden fierce movement, she drove the dagger into his neck. He collapsed, his weapon falling at her feet. Abeni grabbed the machete and turned towards the remaining women. "We'll fight." Their eyes widened, but desperation made them brave. One by one they ambushed the hunters, using whatever they could: rocks, sticks, sheer willpower. The tables turned. The hunters became the hunted. As dawn approached, only Abeni and Sefu remained. He stood at the edge of a cliff, watching as his empire burned. The freed women had stormed his estate, setting it ablaze. Abeni stepped forward, blood and dirt on her face. This ends now. Sefu chuckled. Do you think killing me will stop this? She tightened her grip on the machete.
It's a start. With one swift motion, she lunged. The blade met its mark. Sefu's body tumbled over the edge, disappearing into the abyss below. It was over. Weeks later, Benny sat in a cafe, sipping her tea. The news was everywhere.